let's have a look at our trending topics now. Bongani Baloyi, again, huge story. This is the story. I mean, he was trending on Monday, and then, of course, it all happened on Monday morning, and here he is trending again.
Bongani Baloyi. And no surprises. I think we saw this one coming, and you know, Bongani Baloyi used to be the mayor of Midvaal, and a municipality that did quite well under his stewardship here in Gauteng. But of course, then he joined Action SA, and it's been well documented that he seems to be butting head, or was butting heads with the leader, Herman Mashaba, while there. And Bongani Baloyi yesterday basically stating it very clearly that he sees the move of him being a spokesperson as a demotion, and he's not having that.
Sure. All right. So
it'll be interesting to see where he moves to next.
And that's what everybody's now waiting to see.
Where's he going to next?
Yeah. I mean, I know there was a question posed to the DA. Have you heard? Have you had a phone call? Has there been a request or discussions? And from John Steenhuisen's perspective, he said, not that I know of. So,
well, that would be weird, wouldn't it? For him to actually go back to the Democratic Alliance. But the question is, where else could he go to? Maybe join Musi Maimane? Who knows? Yeah. But we'll wait and see where Bongani Baloyi surfaces next.
I like the word weird. Politics is weird. You never know from one second to the next. Action SA, of course, trending because of that. I mean, that's also a no-brainer, and I think that's what is behind the Action SA trend, is very much to do with what's happened with Bongani Baloyi and, of course, the leader, Herman Mashaba. So we'll leave that one there. We won't have to go more into that one. The next one is Tshwane, and all that's happening in Tshwane. So you saw it in our news, and the issue of what's happening in Tshwane. Have you got it open in front of you there? Because I know there's so much going on.
It's a whole lot of things. It's the Tshwane mayor and that saga. It's Tshwane load shedding. It's just about everything that's happening in the capital city. So quite a bit going on. But yeah, I think the mayor story hasn't died down yet. But speaking about weird, I mean, how was that for, you know, a story that just kept on giving?
Yes, with the Tshwane mayor, I mean, for goodness sakes, that just went from hero to zero, and then back to hero, and then back to zero within a moment. It was like, what is going on? Letters and qualifications, and then it just disappeared. So as it stands, we still don't have the mayor, but what happened was that the ATMs, Mtedi Ndawanana has been elected the Speaker of the City of Tshwane. I mean, this is all after a squabble resulted in the voting process yesterday afternoon. And I mean, we all know what happened with Murunwa Makorela, who left the post following his election as mayor. He's since resigned from that position. So it is a mess.
Alive a mess. With possibility.
Weird. Yeah. Let's use that word again. Weird. Pretoria. That was where the DA was.
Yes, where the protest action was. And of course, we'll talk more about that later on in the show. And that is the focus in our question of the day as well. Let us know what your thoughts are. And for me, it's interesting that it is the DA that's leading this particular charge. Because if you look at, you know, the ANC, the struggle for liberation, what that was meant to be about, and then you get into power and you just wholesale take over what is already there. And now the Democratic Alliance leading the charge that says we actually need to change some of these, you know, institutions that exist. Very interesting.
Amazing. I mean, and some of those privileges and those perks, like getting all of the security personnel that you do, the fancy cars that you're driving, the big houses that you live in, one in Pretoria, one in Cape Town, the travel that you get. Obviously, I've seen lately, I mean, the planes full of ministers in economy class. That's something quite different, but that's one thing that has changed. But there are many privileges that the ministers do get.
Well, some of them we need to check whether they've actually changed, because there were some ridiculous ones, like you would still receive those flight tickets even after you've left office.
Yes.
Like, why are we paying for your travel after you've left office? Didn't make sense ever.